Welcome to the series where I test out the OSRS Wiki money making guides. I started this series almost a year ago, and since then we've tried out multiple methods even if they're a little silly, such as picking bananas or even flax. If you enjoy these types of videos, then feel free to check out the playlist that I've made for them, and feel free to leave a suggestion down in the comments for a method that you'd like to see tested. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's moneymaker, we'll be taking a look at a fairly simple one, and that is to cook sharks. Now the requirements for this is at least 80 cooking, but of course the higher the better because you'll be able to burn less. The wiki does suggest 89 plus, and I think the reason for that is because at 89 with the Hasidious kitchen, you won't burn it anymore. This is also while wearing the cooking gauntlet that you get from the family crest quest. Now aside from the cooking level, you'll also need some money to buy the raw sharks, or of course you could fish them yourselves, but I think you're better off just buying them from the GE if you have the money for it. Now as for where I'll be doing this moneymaker, I did use the mythical cape to teleport to the Myths Guild, and the reason for this is because it has the best spot to cook in my opinion. And the reason for this is because you don't have to move from this spot. There's a bank and a range right next to each other. There's also a similar place like this in the Rogue's Den, except you are cooking on a fire, so I think you're more likely to burn items there. But if you have a high enough cooking level, then you probably don't even need to worry about that. Any spot will do. Now the only item that I'd recommend bringing if you have it is the cooking cape. That way you will never burn a single piece of shark. This will ensure that you make the most money from this moneymaker, and it'll be interesting to see how many we are able to cook because the wiki did estimate that you can cook around 1300 an hour. But we have been known to perform a little bit better than the wiki's estimates. Now I gotta say, this moneymaker is fairly enjoyable because of how AFK it is, and not only do we make a decent amount of money, but we also get a lot of cooking experience, as you'll see towards the end of the video. For each piece of shark, we are getting 210 cooking experience. And if you were curious about the burn rates on the shark, here is a nice little graph showing you what level you need and what items you need in order to not burn a single piece of food anymore. So as you can see here, the lowest possible cooking level we can have is at level 84, and that is while wearing the cooking gauntlets and completion of the elite Korend diary to get a 10% boost from the Hasidious kitchen. But the elite diary might be a little out of reach, so simply getting 100% favor at Hasidious for the 5% boost with the cooking gauntlets will only need 89 cooking for that. And that is pretty much it for this moneymaker. It is very simple. You're just cooking sharks, and you can AFK for quite some time while you let the full inventory cook. So it is definitely possible to play on another account while you are making some money on the side, and of course getting some cooking gains. So after 1 hour of cooking sharks, we did manage to get a total of 1484 sharks cooked, valued at just over 1 mil. We can now head over to the Grand Exchange to sell off all of our food that we have cooked, and I did a price check on this to see what the prices were, and I found that 733 was the best price for the sharks. But of course, if you are more patient than I am, you can possibly put it in there for a little bit more and make a little bit extra money. I gotta say, I was fairly surprised to see sharks so low. The raw sharks were worth around 500 coins, or close to 500 coins, and that really caught me off guard, but it did inspire me to make this video since there were some decent margins on cooking the shark. And as I state with all of my videos, always make sure to price check before trying out any of the moneymakers because the prices are always changing. But now we can go ahead and calculate the total profit we made from the 1 hour. So if we take the cost of the sharks, it's 774,648 GP. Subtract that from the money we made, which was 1,087,772 GP. We get a grand total profit of 313,124 GP. So just over 300k an hour. Not a bad amount of money, especially considering how AFK it is, and compared to the wiki, it was pretty close. We did manage to make a couple more sharks than what the estimations were, so that was nice. And aside from the nice money we made, we also managed to get a lot of cooking XP, 311.6k to be exact. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even a subscription. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode.